Hello students, welcome to chemistry online classes. Chemical kinetics lesson is going on. It is lecture number 7. In this class we are going to see half-life of a reaction. Okay. So half-life means what? Reaction starts, 50% reactants are over. How much time is required to reduce the concentration to 50%? That time is called as half-life. So what is half-life? Time required to reduce initial concentration of reactant to its half. If we have taken 100 reactant, it should become half, means 50 reactants. How much time is required to reduce initial concentration of reactant to its half is called as half-life of the reaction. Okay. So for half-life, we are going to derive the equations. Yesterday we have done integrated rate equation for zero order and first order. Today also we will continue with the same for zero order and first order. But today half-life. What is half-life, understood student? If 1 kg reactants are there, time required to reduce to 500 grams. If 500 are there, time required to reduce 500 to 250 grams. Initial concentration of reactant should become half. 50% reactant should disappear. How much time is required to reduce initial concentration of reactant to its half is called as half-life of that reaction. Understanding? Let us see the derivation. Both derivations very important. As it is, you should write down the things afterwards. Let us first understand. I have written heading half-life of a reaction. It is indicated by symbol T, half. What is definition of half-life? Time required to reduce the initial concentration of reactant to its half. Time in which concentration of reactant is reduced to 1/2 of its initial concentration. Whatever is initial concentration, that is very important. It should become half. If it is 1 kg, it should become 500 gram. If initially is 500 gram, it should become 250 gram. Okay. So whatever is initial concentration, it should reduce to its half. That change requires how much time? That is called as half-life. Half-life is indicated by symbol T, half. And initial concentration, yesterday we have seen that it is shown by R naught. Okay. R naught indicates initial concentration of reactants. So let us do the derivations here, students. Half-life of a reaction for zero order reaction. For zero order reaction, then we'll see for first order reaction. So students, what is our formula? Yesterday we derived integrated rate equation for zero order reaction. You will be remembering that for zero order reaction, rate constant K is equal to R naught minus R by T. Okay, this equation you should be knowing. Yesterday's part, R naught minus R by T, where what is R naught? R naught is initial concentration of reactant. Okay, and what is R? Concentration of reactant left. How much is left? That is called as R. How much is initial? That is called as R naught. Now here for half-life, always T is equal to T half you should consider. Okay, T means T half, half-life. And final concentration, whatever is left, R left out concentration. amount of reactant left will be half of initial concentration. So R naught by 2. R is always half of initial concentration, so I am writing R naught by 2. These two things you should remember. For half-life, T is equal to T half and R is equal to R naught by 2. Let us substitute what you are getting, see students. K is equal to R naught minus R means what? R naught by 2 divided by T. T here is T half. Okay? Yes. I want to derive equation for half-life. Means I want to derive for T half. So I will take T half this side. K will go to the denominator. Okay? Yes. So T half is equal to, I am writing K to the denominator. Upside what is left? R naught minus R naught by 2. Yes, how much? 1 R naught minus half R naught. 1 minus half, half. So upside left is R naught by 2. Okay. Therefore, T half is equal to, finally we can write, this is R naught divided by 2 divided by K. So we can write R naught by 2K. Yes, this is our final equation for zero order. Half-life period for half-life for zero order reaction is equal to R naught by 2K. Okay, so looking towards this equation, you can say that half-life for zero order reaction is directly proportional to R naught, that is initial concentration of reactants. So question will be asked like this only. Show that half-life for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactants. Okay. So conclude, I am writing half-life for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. R naught means initial concentration of reactant. I hope you understood. Very simple derivation is there and very important it is. So student, you must remember first yesterday's integrated rate equation for zero order, that is R naught minus R by T, and today's for zero order half-life is equal to R naught by 2K. Okay. Let us derive for first order reaction. Okay, so here I am writing for first order reaction. Friends, similar, everything is similar. For first order reaction, we have to derive half-life of the reaction. Here, zero order, we started with K is equal to R naught minus R by T. Okay, integrated rate equation for zero order. Now, what is integrated rate equation for first order? Okay, so you should be knowing that K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R. This is integrated rate equation for first order. Okay, yesterday derived, you should remember it as it is. For first order, this is the equation. Here, for half-life, what changes we should do, student? T is equal to T half. Yes, and second is R is nothing but R naught by 2. Initial concentration should become its half, that is R. So let us substitute, students, what we are getting. Therefore I will write K is equal to 2.03 divided by T means T half here, log of, student, R naught divided by R. R means R naught by 2. R means R naught by 2. Got cancelled. 2 will go upside. Log 2 it will become. I want to derive the equation for half-life. So I will take T half this side. K will go to the denominator. See a student. T half is equal to what I am writing? 2.303 by K log 2. R naught got cancelled. 2 will go upside in the numerator. It became log 2. Yes. Student, what is value of log 2? Your log table starts with 10. How can you see the value of log 2? Log 3 is nothing but log 20 you have to see. Okay. So it is 0.3010 by K. And this answer comes 0.3010. So this is your final equation for first order half-life for first order reaction. Okay. So see, student, what conclusion we have written for zero order reaction? Half-life is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. Question will be asked like this only. Prove that. For first order reaction, how can they ask? Because initial concentration of reactant is already got cancelled. So what question will be asked, or what can be the conclusion? Conclusion becomes half-life of the reaction is constant and it is independent of initial concentration of reactant, because initial concentration R naught is already cancelled. So what conclusion I am writing? See, half-life for first order reaction is constant and it is independent of initial concentration of reactant, and it is independent of initial concentration of reactants. Understood, students? Derivation see properly. Note down both questions, very important. Third question which is asked, for first order reaction, show that time required for 99.9% completion of reaction is 10 times half-life. Okay. Sometimes this question is asked. What is asked, student? They will ask, for first order reaction, time required to complete 99.9% of the reaction. Approximately complete reaction is over. 99.9% reaction is completed. And how much time is required to complete that much of reaction is 10 times time required for 50% completion of reaction. 50% completion of reaction means half-life. Yes, 50% reaction is completed means it is half-life. It is 99% reaction is completed means reaction is up to 100% completed. So of course time required will be much more than 50%, and it is 10 times of 50% that we have to prove. Okay. Now student, before going to this, you tell me how much reaction is completed. 99.9% reaction is completed. If this much is completed, how much is left? Okay. Initial concentration of reactant, what can you guess? In percent type of reactions, always consider initial concentration of reactant as 100. Is it? Percent means 100. So always take R naught, that is initial concentration of reactant, as 100. Reaction completed is 99.9%. Means how much is left to? Only R, concentration of R. 100 minus 99.9. Left is only 0.1%. So R naught means initial concentration, you will take 100. R, that is concentration left, is 0.1. We are not using the number 99.9, but using this 99.9 we are writing value of R naught also, R also. Okay. So let us solve this problem. Very simple problem is there. Yes. See student, they are given for first order reaction. If it is for first order reaction, write down integrated rate equation for first order. See here, for first order, what can I write for first order? See student, same formula. K is equal to P log of R naught by R. Okay, because first order is given. Okay, now here T, time required for 99.9% completion. So time, I am taking this side, K will go to the denominator, and for this time I will write 99.9. Okay, is equal to what you got? 2.03 divided by K log of. Students, in NCERT also this problem is solved, but quite easy way we can solve this with very less number of calculations. R naught, how much will you take? Percentage 99.9% completed. Initial how much was there? 100. How much is left? 100 was there, 99.9 completed, left is only 0.1. So R naught value here I am taking 100 and R value I am taking 0.1. Okay. Yes, is equal to, see here, no, log of. Students tell 100 means, see here, for 100 I can write 10 to the power 2. 0.1 means we can write 10 to the power minus 1. Minus 1 will go upside, it will become plus 1. So log of 10 to the power 3. So 2.303. Log 3 means 3 will come here. 3 log 10. And you know that log 10 is always 1. And answer comes how much? 10. Multiply by 3. Okay. This is time required for 99.9% completion of reaction. We have to show that this time is 10 times of half-life, or reaction time required for 50% completion of reaction. See here, T half, already we know equation. Let us substitute, let us divide T 99% divided by T 50%. T half means 50. point. Yes, easily you can see that k got cancelled and it is 10 times. Is it? So like this you can show that t of okay. So like this concept of half-life we have seen. Let us see a little more detail, and pseudo first order reaction is our next topic. Let us continue with the same. Yes students. So see here, there is one formula by which we can relate half-life of a reaction and its initial concentration. Okay, just now we have derived formula, but we derived only relationship between half-life and order of that initial concentration of that reaction for zero order and first order. So common formula for all orders is given like this. Half-life of a reaction is inversely proportional to a raised to n minus 1. Okay students, here A is considered as initial concentration of reactant. Till now we were writing symbol R naught, okay, for initial concentration of reactants. Here instead of R naught A is used. Things are same only. Initial concentration of reactant is given by A instead of R naught. What is symbol N represent? Of course you know that N means order. We have seen it before. Okay. So let us student see the relationship between half-life and initial concentration of reactant for various orders. See here, I will write here order. If order is 0, for 0 substitute and tell T half A raised to 0, order is 0, order means I am writing N, N indicates order, 0 minus 1 means minus 1, A raised to minus 1 means A will go upside, so it becomes like this, 0 minus 1 is minus 1, A raised to minus 1 means upside it will be A raised to 1, okay. So we got relationship half-life is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. This is what we have proved in just now previous video, previous board. Okay. So for zero order reaction, half-life is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactants. If we have to plot a graph, how will we plot it? We can plot the graph like this. Half-life versus initial concentration F. Directly proportional. Okay. Let us move for next order. Imagine that we have to write for first order reaction. How can we write student? T half. Already you know that just now we have proved that half-life for first order reaction is independent of initial concentration of reactants. Same we'll get here also. See here. A raised to 1 minus 1. Order is 1. N is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything raised to 0 is 1. So T half is directly proportional to some constant. Okay. Thus you can say that half-life is independent of initial concentration A. For first order reaction, half-life is independent of initial concentration of reactant A. See here, if we have to plot the graph, independent. Whatever is concentration of A, half-life is constant and it is not at all changing along with change in concentration of A. Whatever is A, half-life remains constant. Graph understood students? Let us take one more. Previously we have seen for zero order and first order. By this formula you can even write the relationship for all order reactions. Generally order can be maximum up to 3. Let us write for second order reaction. For second order reaction what can we write? T half is directly proportional to C here. Write n is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, a raised to 1. Means half-life is inversely proportional to A. Half-life is inversely proportional to A. Or you can say that, okay, see here now. Half-life is directly proportional to A zero order. Half-life is independent of A first order. Half-life is inversely proportional to A, that is your second order reaction. Okay. You can say that half-life is inversely proportional to A, or you can say that half-life is directly proportional to what? Half-life is directly proportional to 1 by A. Is it understanding? Inversely proportional to A, directly proportional to 1 by A. So we'll plot graph like this. Half-life directly proportional to 1 by A. Okay. So this one formula, remember, this gives relationship of half-life with initial concentration of reactant for nth order, whichever order. Okay. So let us move towards our next topic, pseudo first order reactions. Okay. Topic is pseudo first order reaction. Very important topic is there. Many time question will be asked. Define pseudo first order reaction. Give an example. So before writing the definition, let us understand what do you mean by pseudo first order reactions. Pseudo means false. Something is wrong. Okay. So actually reaction is first order. Order means n. N is 1. What is order? Power. Exponent. In Rete-Law expression is called as order. Actually it is first order. But appearance is something wrong. Not first order. Generally reaction appears higher order. But actually it is first order. That type of reactions are called as pseudo first order reaction. Actually these are first order only, but their appearance will be higher order, or their molecularity will be 2. Bimolecular reactions. Reactant looks 2, but order will be 1. Okay. That type of reactions are called as pseudo first order reaction. Reaction appears to be of higher order, but actually follows first order kinetics. Okay, follows first order, but appearance will be wrong, so they are called as pseudo first order reactions. Definition I am writing. 2 definitions I will write. Whichever is easy for you, you can go for. Pseudo first order reaction. Reactions which appears to be of higher order but follows first order kinetics are called pseudo first order reactions. Appears higher order but follows first order. Otherwise you can say that complete definition, or I will write reaction which appears to be, instead of higher order I will write, instead of higher order I will write appears to be bimolecular. Bimolecular means molecularity is 2, reactants are 2, but follows first order kinetics. Among these two, whichever definition you feel easy, you can write. Okay. is called as pseudo first order reaction. Let us take an example and understand this concept. So I will take first example. Examples you should write in detail, little more detail. I will write example of hydrolysis of ethyl acetate. Hydrolysis of ethyl acetate, see here. Hydrolysis, so adding water. Ethyl acetate gives water means H and OH, CH3COOH, C2H5OH. Okay. If we'll write rate, CS student, you have to write little explanation. Show that it is pseudo first order. If we'll write rate according to rate law, how we can write CS student? Rate is equal to K and molar concentration of only reactants. Two reactants are there. I am writing reactants like this. Two reactants I wrote. This is our rate law or rate expression. So look here and tell me what is order. So according to this, order is equal to, order is nothing but sum of powers of molar concentration of reactants in the rate law expression. This is our rate law expression. Sum of powers, here nothing is there means 1. Here is 1. Sum of powers becomes 2. So order appears to be 2. But actually, see here. But actually what happens? After experiment, when we'll write rate law expression, that time it becomes like this. Water raised to 0. It is 1. Now student, tell me what is order? Sum of exponents. But actual order is 1. Appears of higher order but follows first order kinetics. Such a reaction is called as pseudo first order reaction. This is by experiment we got. Then student, why water became raised to 0? Here water is taken excess. Here water is excess. In hydrolysis of ethyl acetate, water is taken excess. Why water is constant or why water raised to 0? Because it is hydrolysis reaction. In hydrolysis reaction, much water will be added because reaction itself is hydrolysis. So much concentration of water will not change. Much concentration of water will not alter. Some water will be used up. Concentration of water will be much more, so there will not be much alteration, much change in the concentration of water. So finally water is considered as constant, and that's why water becomes raised to 0 and order becomes 1. In all hydrolysis reaction, you should consider water is excess, not much changes in the concentration of water as compared to changes in the concentration of other reactant. And that's why take water as constant, order becomes 1. Like this you can explain example of pseudo first order reaction. Student, you should not write only heading. Complete explanation you should write for example. Let us take one more example to understand this point. This was first example. I will write one more example. We will write example of inversion of cane sugar. Inversion of cane sugar. Everybody knows that cane sugar is nothing but the sugar which we use in our home, that is sucrose. Sucrose. Sucrose has formula, student, C12H22O11. Water is again added for inversion. In acidic medium reaction takes place. one glucose molecule is formed and one fructose molecule is formed. Everybody will be knowing this reaction. Sucrose, this is cane sugar, nothing but sucrose. After inversion, it breaks to give one glucose molecule, one fructose molecule. Now, if we have to write its rate, how can we write its rate, student? Generally, if we write rate is equal to K and concentration of and water will write. Okay. Therefore, order becomes 2. But actually, whenever experiment is performed and rate law expression is written, that time we will come to know that what will come to know, it is 1 only, but water is constant. There is not much alteration, change in the concentration of water. So concentration of water is taken as constant. So water is to 0, and that's why 1 plus 0, order becomes 1. Like this, you should explain any one example whichever you feel easy. Like this, the topic pseudo first order reactions is over, half-life is over. In our next video, we are going to solve problems based on till yet how many topics are covered from starting till half-life problems we are going to solve. Till that, do study, students. See you.